Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 3rd of March 2021. Just want to start the video by saying those who've emailed me, just give me a couple of days. I like to do video responses to questions that I get. So obviously it takes me a little bit of time just to get those videos done, posted, and then send the links back, which obviously in between doing these videos and then coaching videos and then videos for the responses, it's just obviously I've got a lot going on. So just give me a couple of days and I'll get those back to those who've emailed. So let's get into the analysis from yesterday's episode. I'll just quickly go over the pound Japanese yen now. I'll show you guys what I tried to do, but unfortunately couldn't or didn't get triggered. I put a pending buy limit around about 20 past 9 last night at 148.85, and I adjusted that about 20 minutes later or so to 148.80. okay, and I'll just show you where that was on the chart, which is around about here, give or take, just before rollover. And the idea was I was going to go to sleep. I mean, I was expecting this, obviously. The target that I had was at 150, and I missed it by, we're talking a pip or two on the 85. Had I have left it, which I still wouldn't have got filled, or actually I probably would have got filled if I'd have left the 148.85, but I adjusted it because I thought it was going to dip into it a little bit more. I'm used to trading pound Japanese yen, and sometimes it dips just before rollover and during Asia as it goes into the rollover and then midnight. So that tends to happen quite a lot on this pair, but unfortunately I didn't get that. Spread opened up, I think it was like 10.5 pips. Didn't get the entry, went to sleep, woke up, and then I basically cancelled the order around about 20 past 2, I think it was. Yeah, about 20 past 2 in the morning. Then I went back to sleep, and then I just, got up for London, and didn't really do much after that. So, as expected, though, as I was saying in yesterday's episode, I was expecting this, and sometimes, we miss these trades. We miss them by a pip, we miss them by 10 pips, we miss them all together. It is what it is, and there's absolutely no rush because, as we're going through these pairs now, you're going to see, as I said in the episode yesterday, and I was going through the Euro USD analysis, and I was giving you guys some ideas and some things to think about, because I did quite a lot on Euro USD yesterday. I was saying, if you remember, I made a note of this area here, and I made the box red, and then I changed it to this color, and I was saying if price hits this level, it might get a little bit of a fade. It'd be nice for a 20 pip scalp during the London session. And obviously we've had a really nice price response away from that. If we just drop down to the hourly chart just to show you, you can see you've got Asia here, and then we get that nice little pop. It goes into this, and then it drops very, very nicely. And these scenarios, obviously they come from experience, right? But the analysis, being able to understand the analysis, being able to read price, it all comes from the higher time frames. And this is something that I've just recently been back and forth with somebody over the last sort of 3 weeks. Somebody who was spending a lot of time, on the hourly and the 15-minute chart, didn't really look at the daily or the weekly. He just spent most of his time doing his analysis on the hourly and the 15-minute chart. And since spending, the weekend doing some analysis on, or I'll say analysis, but doing some breakdowns on the daily chart only, and then just kind of spending a full week on the daily, it's opened up his eyes to, these much larger ranges, and slowed him down to the point where he's not in and out of the market all the time, and ending up on the wrong side of trades. So we have to spend time on these higher time frames, and the more you do that, the more you start to realize that when you have a really good grasp of where the offload happens, that's the most important thing, where the offload happens. So imagine you've got a massive wheelbarrow full of orders, and it's being carried and carried and carried and carried, and as it's being carried along, there's more being put into the wheelbarrow, more being put into into the wheelbarrow, and it's getting heavier and heavier. Eventually, it's going to be offloaded somewhere. When it offloads, yeah, that's what we see on these higher time frames. When we see that, okay, it's a very powerful catalyst to something else that's going to happen further down the line. It gives us so much information. Yeah, it gives us a turn in the market. It gives us a stall in the market. It gives us a directional bias. It gives us directional turning points. It gives us much larger ranges to play with. It gives us an idea of where price could be driving for. While the wheelbarrow's full, as the analogy. It gives us an idea of where it needs to start to fill it up again. I know it's a bit of a weird analogy, but it's the only one that I could think of at the time. So when we get a good grasp of that, dropping down to these sort of 4-hour and hourly time frames, we get to see these ideas unfold, yeah, before they unfold, and we get to to pick these spots and say, you know what, because I know what the daily's doing, because I know what the weekly's doing, because I know where the offload's happening, because I know we're stuck between two fractals right now, because I know, when price hits this level, it's very likely we're probably going to get a little bit of a fade here. It's very likely price is going to react here. It's very likely price is going to go in the opposite direction, but it's also very likely that price is not going to continue going either, because we've already dipped and driven into this area down here. We've already ran up and tapped into this area already, yeah, because this is not the first time it's done this. If you go all the way to the left, obviously it's already done this prior to this. So there's a lot going on, and when you fuse all of this together, this starts to make sense, yeah. So for me, just to get right to where we're going next, I mean, I did say possible Wednesday high of the week in yesterday's episode. Maybe we drive higher one more time, but for me, I mean, there's absolutely nothing left on this in terms of anything to do this week. We're probably going to end up going sideways, but either way, I don't really care, because it's a done deal, yeah. So we just take a step back, and what I like to do is I like to just go back to the daily or the weekly and just do this, and then just leave the chart like that and just wait for something else. And what I'll probably do over the weekend is just reset the chart and then start again. All right. So pound USD, as expected, as I was saying, guys. Look, I mean, I made a note of this up here again, yesterday's episode, and it just tagged it nicely. But it's been going sideways. This is Monday. This is Tuesday, and then obviously, if I just do this, there you go. So that's today's price action. Pretty much sideways, pretty shitty day really. Nothing going on. Obviously I made a note of this down here. Price came into it nicely. If we just extend that, and again, not to sound arrogant, guys, but I can't make this stuff up. Obviously I like to just emphasize and just throw out there every now and then. I do try my best, to point this stuff out as early as I can possibly see it, and as early as I possibly can before it happens, so you guys know that the information that I'm giving you is well founded. It's not just some random shit that I'm putting together just to kind of sound good. This is solid information, so we tagged the high, we tagged down here. I mean, what's going to happen going forward? There is an imbalance over here. Will we get a drive? With pound Japanese yen driving higher a little bit the way that it did, and the pound USD not really moving anywhere now, a little bit sluggish, and the pound Aussie dollar, if we just drop down to the hourly as well, again, third, not really moving much. I think we've had what we needed to, I say what we needed to see, but I think we've had that strength. The strength is starting to wane now on the pound currencies, so I need to see a little bit more information now on the pound currencies as a whole. We've had a really nice drive and a really nice drop, so it's effectively we're going to need to go to the weekly on this, and just kind of let a couple of weeks unfold just to get a bit of a feel for what's going to happen now over the next couple of months, and then we take it from there. But I do have this in mind, so we'll keep that on the chart. Again, pound Japanese yen, as I explained at the beginning of the video, first pair we went through, where it goes from here. It is getting extremely messy now, but I do believe there's going to be a final drive into the 150 up here, just to do a full rebalance. Will it drop after that? I don't know. I don't know. It is messy. It is messy, but it is a lot more controlled on the way up. So for me, it's one of those, it's just more for completeness now to just go up there and hit that 150. But other than that, it's not something that I'm looking to do anything with. Tried to get into this, missed the opportunity because I didn't get triggered, so we just move on to something else. Pound Aussie dollar, pointless going through that again. USD Japanese yen, let me just drop down to the daily. Just look at something different now on the pound Japanese yen, because we've had a little bit of movement. You see, I don't like this. I don't like this. The most logical place technically is here for price to go, but I just hate the way this chart looks. I'm just going to move on. USD CAD. USD CAD, we made a reference down here. Just go to the daily for a second, guys. Sorry I'm bouncing around, guys, but just give me 1 second. Dipped in lower, takes out the low, dips again higher, drive a little bit. Yeah, not much on USD CAD. Euro USD, for some bizarre reason the chart keeps going to shit. Very strange. Getting messy though. And again, just not feeling it. And then the Aussie dollar, Japanese yen, just go one more time frame, just have a look. We've had a complete rebalance up there now, so if it does come lower, obviously the most logical place is going to be here and here, just to take out these, but I'd like to see a really nice sharp snap now. The likelihood of this continuing higher is low, but the likelihood of this continuing lower is also low. So it's probably just going to continue going sideways. Gold is interesting, very interesting, and for me now, I'm gonna go on record and say at some point in the next month, gold's probably going to be at 1650 or thereabouts, because it is quite volatile in terms of pricing, but around about 1650, which would be absolutely perfect, in terms of buying physical gold. So, as always, guys, I do try to put this information out as early as possible. It isn't trade advice, and it certainly isn't investment advice. These are just my thoughts, but I do, and I am seeing, 1650 on the cards, so definitely one to keep an eye on. And then silver, again, very messy. Until we get a nice pop on silver, there's nothing really to discuss. So that's about it, guys, for the update today. I've been going on a little bit in these episodes, but I've noticed that the retention for the videos is people are starting to watch the videos and they're basically watching them to the end, which is really pleasing to see. So I really appreciate the fact that you guys are spending time and watching the videos. And I'm loving the feedback, obviously, and I really appreciate the fact that you guys do take time out, and send me email questions, because for me it keeps me active and engaged in the markets as well. Because remember, I'm the one that's presenting this information, but when you guys watch these videos and you send me emails with questions, it makes me respond to you, which helps me to become a better I don't want to say teacher, but it helps me to present the information better, and I'm always refining the way that I'm putting these videos together. I'm always refining the way that I'm responding to questions, and I'm constantly refining my process, so it's good for me as well. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, and obviously for for your benefit, it's good for you guys as well. So that's it for this episode. For those of you who don't know my email, it's info@lsptrading.co.uk. You're more than welcome to email me any questions that you might have. Like I said, it might take me a few days to get back to you. I generally respond very quickly, but I'll let you know in terms of the actual video if I'm going to do a video for you to answer your question. That can take a few days because, like I said, I've got so much going on with the videos that I'll make. It might take a few days. So yeah, that's everything. Balance still sits at 270.54, 750 still in the the account, and that's it. So as always, I hope everybody is well, and I will catch up with you guys in tomorrow's update. If I don't do an update for you tomorrow, because I know tomorrow's going to be a very busy day for me, I will definitely catch up with you guys on Friday. All right, take care, and I will speak to you soon.